What's up, everyone? This is your friendly neighborhood fella, Commander P. The P stands for Poppy, and welcome to the Proudcast. Headphone users are now dead. All right, guys. So I'm gonna be honest. We had a nice, big, chunky episode for you today. However, I had an interview with our good friend Bobby Pickles of the Bobby Pickles Proudcast. Now we need to rebrand. We're gonna have some copyright issues now. Just kidding. Of the Bobby Pickles podcast, and we took forever. I guess we got along too well. We debated a little bit. So instead of the episode we had in mind, which we'll do probably next week, we'll just play you guys the interview. Enjoy. What's up, everybody? We are back. To my left, your right, we have the one and only Bobby Pickles.
Hello. How are you? How's everybody? Good? Excellent. Thank you for having me on, man.
You got it, man.
Really appreciate
big
it.
fan of the show. I really love it.
Even though this is probably going to lead to the doxing of me and my company and stuff, but whatever, you know.
Yeah, it's all right. Doxing of us, too. Everybody gets doxed here. We might as well call it a doxing show. The Doxcast.
Yeah, this is like, okay, you want to get doxed? Be on the Proudcast.
Get your face right in the camera. Just zoom right in, you know?
Yeah.
But anyway, man, so I wanted to give you some time to introduce yourself. I understand we're part of the same chapter. What degree are you, by the way? I never got that.
I'm a third degree.
Third degree?
Yeah.
Okay, me too.
Yep.
Where's yours?
Oh, I got mine right here.
Oh, crap. That's right there.
Yeah.
Mine is in an undisclosed location. I'll leave that for you guys to find out. I'll only say this: it's not on my balls. That's it. All right, man. So I understand that just today, right? You got banned from Facebook.
That's right. I did.
Jesus Christ.
I got banned from Facebook for 7 days, and it was so stupid. God, these guys are like the judge, right? Jury and executioner all at the same time.
It's the community standards, right?
The community standards. Somebody posted an article about some Massachusetts police officers, and the only thing they commented on the post was old white scums. So I just said, "You're middle-aged white scum," and that's it. And I got banned.
For
The
how long?
person
Permanently?
7 days.
Okay, all
but
right.
the person who posted it originally, they don't do any like research at all or anything like that. These are just like idiots in India going, "Oh, yeah, they use the word scum and white," right?
They say it's an algorithm. I don't think it's an algorithm at all.
Yeah,
You know, it's probably, honestly, I think it's just Silicon Valley. I don't think, if it's India, all right, but I honestly think it's guys
you're right.
in Silicon Valley just going, we got a proud boy on here and he said this about this person. Regardless that this person said white scum. Boop, 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 banned. I think that's how it goes.
Yeah.
You know, because, I don't know, you know Patreon, right? Mm-hmm. Have you seen what these Silicon Valley types look like? I mean, I think I tried to join Patreon. And
what do they look like?
I made. I'll explain. Hold up. And I made like a little account, and they give like a little intro video for the account. And the intro video was the CEO of the company, I think. And he was like, he had like balding hair all around here. He had like a tiny little, kind of like a pubic hair beard, where it's not like, it doesn't have the length. It's just like the girth.
Like Piazza's beard.
Kind of, yeah, kind of like that. And he was like, it was like a selfie thing. It was like, thank you guys so much for joining Patreon. We wanted to give back to you. And it's like, Jesus Christ, man. This is how you represent your company?
Wow.
Those are the types. Those are the guys we're dealing with here. So when we're on Facebook and we're on Twitter and we're like, Proud Boys this, Proud Boys that, and we get banned, we're getting banned by those guys going.
I'm just like over this whole thing. Like, why immediately just, how did they get like the name Proud Boys? You can't even defend it now, you know? Enrique, our fearless leader of our chapter, right, and of the organization, chairman of the organization now.
Head ass kicker, yes.
He I was just talking to him this morning. We're in the same group. It's called Let's All Discuss. It's like a very liberal, but it's supposed to be both. It's supposed to be conservative, liberal, and just discussing issues, right?
Yeah, right.
And having like a good discussion, open-minded discussion. These people apparently found out that Enrique, because he wasn't saying anything racist or misogynistic or negative at all. It was just using common logic and throwing it back at them. They don't like that apparently, but they doxed him and figured out who he is and posted this thing, and then they said, oh, he's a Nazi, he's part of the Proud Boys. Immediately kicked him out of there. And I'm just like, okay, what did he say that was racist? Right? Mm-hmm. What has he said? What was the major transgression that he committed to get kicked out of this? It's supposed to be free speech, right? What, just because he's an affiliation with this thing that gets a bad name and has been smeared all over the internet? You can't even defend it at this point. It's crazy. No. Like now, that's the only reservation I had to be on your podcast. Thank you so much for having me on the Proudcast. I appreciate it. I really do. But then obviously I have reservations for doing that because, you can get doxxed later, or somebody can immediately, oh, that's what you are, and then use it against you later, and something I don't really want in the future. But
yeah.
But I think the only way that we're gonna stop this is by people who are level-headed, and like good people, like smart people or whatever, to come out there and be like, I'm that,
Yeah, that's exactly what it's about, And as part of the intention that we had making this podcast, because we realized on like Daily Wire with Ben Shapiro, Louder with Crowder, even Louder with Crowder, none of them are talking about Proud Boys.
Well,
and it's really, we all know why.
Once you see what happened at McGinnis, and you get taken out like that.
Yeah, it's guilt by association. Guilt by association.
Exactly.
Then we say, of course, guilty of what? So we're coming out here, we already have the Proud Boys label on us.
Well, so how do you feel about that? You're a young buck.
Yeah.
You're at college age, or just out of college, or
still in college.
Still in college.
Yeah.
And what, like me, to be honest with you, I was not very politically like astute or aware at all when I was that age, really, until honestly, when Trump won, I really got it. A lot of people did that though. I was more liberal. I thought.
Yeah.
I thought I swung more liberal, living in New York City and stuff like that.
Oh,
whatever,
yeah.
around all these idiots.
Yeah.
Who seriously, like, if you have a wrong thought, they all have a circle around you and explain to you why you're wrong.
Bro, I'll tell you, it's impossible to not be political today, especially growing up, because I grew up under Obama. All 8 years, I grew up under that. That was my teenage years. Just gave you guys a hint on what my age is. I try not to do that. But I grew up under that, and it's really impossible. And it's two things. It's one, the groupthink. Because when I was going through high school, I was really involved in like the drama club. I loved theater. I loved talk.
So obviously you had liberal friends.
Yeah, all my friends were liberal. And you get involved in this groupthink. And the groupthink comes from the second reason, which is virtue signaling. That's really where they get all the youth. It's the virtue signaling, because Republicans will say, well, we can't have all the illegal immigrants coming in here because, they take our jobs, welfare, blah, blah, blah. Everybody knows the reasons. But then liberals will say, and the Democrats will say,
you're racist.
Yeah, we're racist. We're not letting them come in. Let the illegals in. Count every vote. Orange man bad. And young minds look at that and they go, yeah, the Republicans look like the bad guys here. Yeah, that's really immoral of them. That's what's happening. And
do they really
no other
look
information.
like the bad guys?
No.
Now, during the Bush years,
okay,
I'll admit
that
the people that supported Bush were kind of the dumb people, I think. To be honest with you.
I think it was deep state. I think Bush was a deep state.
Yes, he's a globalist, right?
Yep.
That's why Trump isn't even a Republican, man. He's he's nothing. He's totally anti-establishment. That's what these people don't get. Mm-hmm. These people confuse wealth with establishment. It's not the same thing. You're making a wrong judgment call right there. Just because you're wealthy doesn't mean you're an establishment person. It's just like when he moved over to Mar-a-Lago. He was blasting the music, and letting all those people know who's in town. He's not, God, I don't want to get off on too much of a tangent. I just love the whole story, because his grandfather came here from Bavaria, Germany, and went out to the West, didn't search for gold or anything like that, but set up a hamburger stand and then made all his money like that. selling hamburgers to all the people that went out there searching for gold, which is brilliant, right?
Yeah.
Went back, got a wife from Bavaria, came back, had kids. They took that money and made it more. Then Trump, Donald, who's not even the firstborn son, he's the secondborn. He got the firstborn was an asshole who became a drunk and ended up dying prematurely. Fred Jr. And so nothing was just given to this guy. He took that wealth from all these previous generations and then turned it into, now he's the president.
Yeah.
That's the American story.
And that's what people really don't get about Trump. They say, like, oh, it's daddy's money, daddy's money.
Dude, you were an idiot.
Trump went bankrupt like 3 times. Like, all that money from his daddy is gone. It's all his now.
And honestly, okay, you think that somebody's going to give you money and then that's it? There's no work that goes with that, right? There's so much work and effort that goes with that. If somebody does give you money, which, number one, I'll go ahead and tell everybody right now, I wouldn't even have my own business if it wasn't for my mom financing me at first. I appreciate her for that. But that doesn't mean that she fucking did everything for me, because goddamn it, she didn't do everything for me. I'm there, like so many hours a day and put in, she's not even close to even being part of the business. But with that little bit of information, you're going to say that mommy gave me everything, right? No, it's not true. It's not reality. Everybody does need help at some point. It's true. You do need money to make money, right? Mm-hmm. And if you put in the work, you're going to get where you need to get. Like you'll find somebody to finance you or something. If you just keep on going, you're persistent, right? And you have that dream, you will. Or you'll get the money yourself or something like that. I just so happen to get it that way. But it takes effort and it takes work.
Yeah.
Not just handing you money.
Bro, and that's exactly what's happening with Democrats, with the younger people. I'll tell a story, man. Again, I don't want to waste so much time because we do have something to talk about here. But I had a friend, well, still my friend, who's been in the welfare system all of her life. Literally, she's at the point right now where she can't make a certain amount of money because she stops becoming a dependent and then doesn't receive government checks anymore. Democrats, they have people dependent on them.
Yeah.
It's not like Republicans where they go, okay, you know what, you want to go make as much as you can? Go make as much money as you can. It's really a welfare state.
Yeah.
And I don't think people
get that. It's the opposite of ambition.
Yes.
Like they have the ambition to make less money so they get more money from the government. God. It's so crazy.
All right. I want to get back on task here.
Okay.
So originally we were talking about feminism affecting culture, right? So first of all, if you don't think we're in a culture war, I don't know what rock you're living under, because I think before, at least during your time, and then kind of when I was an infant, feminists were a little bit more subtle about their agenda. Now it's just full force. It's just full frontal force. Mm-hmm. And it's affecting all type of media. Something where feminists and liberals and the whole entire leftist agenda has really impacted, surprisingly enough, music streaming. Who would have thought, right? Spotify, the music streaming service, is now under liberal attack. Apparently rap, hip-hop, rock, and punk was enough genres for them. They now have new genres, in case you check your Spotify every now and then. And we like to go through a few of them, and I'd like to show you them. Have you seen them yet?
I use Spotify a little bit, but not too crazy.
Boy.
What's the deal?
Okay, we're going to go through a few of them. This is the first one. Black History is Now. This is a whole genre. It's not just a playlist. It's a combination of playlists and videos. Is Black History Now, though? Do you think so?
I thought it's February. But no. I mean, I don't know. I don't care what people are. I'm really not a racist person whatsoever. That's one of the perceptions of Proud Boys is that they're racist or something like that. That couldn't be further from the truth when it comes to me at all. I don't know about some of the other chapters throughout the country. I can only speak for our chapter.
Yeah.
Our chapter is all right. Like there's less white people than there are Cuban Americans and all kinds of different ethnicities and stuff like that, right? I mean, we have a nice little mix here.
I think it's like 80%
80% Hispanic. Yeah.
Yeah.
And honestly, I mean, like I said, I don't want to get off too much of a tangent. I know you have you want to stick to the script a little bit with some of the stuff, especially Spotify, but I can't speak on behalf of the whole organization. I could just speak on our Miami chapter, which is not like that at all.
No.
Not racist at all. But yeah, it's, Black History is now. I mean, whatever.
I think it's all right, but it's the subtext that's behind it. You know, the subtext is pretty obvious, kind of a Black Lives Matter approach, where it's like,
what is it about that you don't, that kind of like triggers you?
Here's the thing, I'll explain it. So we look at this part right here. So it's pretty much Pharrell Williams, and it says Black musicians making history, right? So then it goes through and it's like, Pharrell is Black history, something awakening, a very serious force, influence, inspiration. The thing about Pharrell, I think he was also one of the people who attacked Kanye when Kanye came out as conservative. The thing is about Black Lives Matter, as an organization in whole, and most of the celebrities that team up with them, and this is what makes me so triggered about this, is that they're not for all Black people. They're not for all minorities either. They're only for the groupthink. The Black people who tend to lean with Democrat thought and then go against Black people like Kanye.
Is Kanye on that playlist?
No, he's not.
He's not?
No.
All right. Then you have a compelling argument.
That's the problem. That's the problem here, you know? If you want to say Black history is now, awesome. Go ahead. But the subtext there is Black people are being oppressed just as hard as they were in the 1960s, which is obviously not the case. I don't know, but what do you have to say about that?
I think that we're dealing with a lot of PTSD, you know?
Okay,
it's
yeah.
kind of like generational PTSD that's been happening, right? And, you know, everybody's affected by it. I mean, like I said, I have like a million friends, all different walks of life.
Yeah,
and my Black friend, he was actually like, you know, kind of bringing this to my attention and stuff. And then we went to Burger King, me and Piazza, and the guy who was giving us our burgers in the drive-thru is Black, and he's, here you go. Oh, here you go. We're saying thank you. Oh, thank you very much. Thank you. Like being overly, you know, nice and stuff like that. Then I'm like, why am I being overly nice? And why is this guy trying to serve us? And then like, here you go. Like, and just making sure like just being overly, you know. Do you understand what I'm saying, man?
Yeah.
It's this PTSD that has happened. It's like we should feel guilty, right, of where we are, I guess, and where they are. Now, should you feel guilty? But I don't know. I think there is a little bit of truth to that. You know, that they have been disenfranchised or whatever, and they definitely did, as a whole, get started later.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yes, they did. Yes.
There is something to that. You ever listen to Farrakhan at all? Like some of his talks where everybody should get, you know, he pushes that you know, Black people should get reparations and they should get a certain amount of money to last them a certain amount of generations. I don't know if that's like completely stupid. I know that I'm showing. I'm more of in the middle guy. You know, I definitely lean right, but I'm a moderate kind of person. But I'm definitely right shifting. But I can see. I try to just like understand the other point of view.
That's true. No, you could definitely understand it, man.
But I don't think that I should like live my life with PTSD, you know?
Yes.
I immediately like next time we went to that Burger King, I'm like, yeah, thank you, give me my fucking burger. See you later, asshole. You know?
The question is,
because that's how I would treat a white person.
Yes, exactly.
And I'm gonna and that's really about racism. Why am I gonna go tiptoeing? Oh, thank you very much. No, I'm not scared.
Yeah.
You know? I'm going to treat you just like everybody else.
Exactly. So the question is, and this is really the driving force behind the Black History Is Now playlist, are Black people as oppressed as they were in the 1960s in the civil rights movement?
I don't think that they're as oppressed, no. But I think that they got started later.
Yes, they did.
And, you know, and if you think about evolution, like we were talking about this before the podcast started. You're Cuban American. You have parents from Cuba, right? You have that they came from socialism. They're teaching you don't want to be like this. You want to be hyper capitalistic and go after it, right, in life. Yeah. They didn't have that. They did come from slavery. Yeah. Right? And it was generations of slavery. Think about that. You know, it's not going to you don't have a lot of people telling you the right thing to do. You're going to end up fucked up. So, you know, I mean, I don't think it's completely not true or just fake news. I think there is some truth to that, you know?
No,
And-
right?
But
Okay.
I, what to do about it?
No, I'm
How to
surprised.
fix that?
I'm pleasantly
How to
surprised. We
correct that?
disagree. I like that.
You did? Okay, tell me why. Tell me why, please.
All right. Well, pretty much what I've just been saying before. I feel like they have been disenfranchised for a long time. I think it's time to move past that, though. I don't think they should be
No, I
asking
don't
for
think they're
reparations.
disenfranchised now. I don't think they're disenfranchised now. I just think that the evolution, like they're not in the same spot where we are.
Okay.
Based on the parents we had, the grandparents we had, right?
Yes.
We're talking about like immigrants, like, I come from immigrants
Yeah,
too,
yeah, I get
but
what you're
I've been
saying.
here generations,
Yeah.
And so that whole and then people telling you what to do, telling you the right thing to do, go to college, or and I don't even know if that's right, to be honest with you now, actually. But to
Me neither. Me
take
neither,
the
to be
world by the
honest.
balls and go after it or whatever, they haven't really had that, as a whole.
That's true, but there has to come a point where you stop blaming other races on it. I honestly do believe that a lot of problems still plaguing the black community is because of black people themselves and the welfare state and Democrats. I mean, this whole concept of white privilege, for example, I think Candace Owens was talking about this. When you give black children the concept of white privilege, it kills their economic libido, as Gavin will call it. They kind of go, oh, okay, well, why should I make money? And then they become gangbangers, and then, single mom rates rise up, and they're incentivized pretty much to become single mothers because of this welfare.
Yep.
I mean, there needs to come a point where we stop focusing on slavery and the 1960s and the civil rights movement and start going, all right, what's in the future?
I believe that too. No, I think we agree. I'm just stating facts. That's how we got to that point. What should happen right now to fix it, right? But I think everybody, it's pretty easy to say pull yourself by your bootstraps.
Yeah.
When your mommy fucking financed you to start your business, you know what I'm saying? I can't really sit here and do that. So that would make me a hypocrite.
All right.
They didn't have that. A lot of them didn't, and you can't deny that. It's true. But what are you gonna do? Like, we know the truth. We've been taught right.
Yeah.
The truth is, you need to stop blaming other people, get out of that mentality, realize where you're living. You're living in a hyper capitalistic society, right? You have the ability to move into a different socioeconomic, right?
Class.
Yeah. You can. It's very difficult, but you have to put in a lot of work, and you can do it.
Yeah.
Like, you might get only a certain far, but your kid's going to get farther, right? But you got to start doing that. And if you don't, move to another country, man, because you're fucked. You're going to be on welfare your whole life, right?
Yeah, that's pretty much it, man. I always find it so funny. I know a lot of the immigrants that I met in New Jersey when I was a kid would tell me, hey, listen, man, this is America. If you can't make it here, you can't make it anywhere.
I love immigrants. And, all you have to do is just talk to some immigrants, and then they really put you back in perspective, because these guys, like me or other people that their grandparents maybe came here off the boat or something like that, and you've been here for generations, you forget, right?
Yeah.
You totally forget. People came here and they struggled, and they really wanted a different life, and they were fleeing poverty and fleeing whatever, right?
Yeah.
And people forget it, man. And then all those college kids, all these kids.
Oh my God.
All
man.
these kids have forgot everything. They don't know it. They don't know the truth.
Bro, I can sit here and literally rant about college kids.
But you must
for
see
2
it all the
hours.
time. God.
Oh my God, all the time.
What do you do when you're there? Like I was saying, I mean, you're a young guy, and I don't know, because I'm a little older than you or whatever. Are there a lot of people that think like you do on college campuses?
Nope.
So what do? You're an outlier. Have you been called a Nazi?
I actually have not been called a Nazi yet. I think it's because I'm Cuban. I think they can't play that card.
But they do it with Enrique. On that chat I was telling you about that they kicked him off of. Like, they said he's a Nazi. I was like, the guy's Afro-Cuban.
Here's the thing. There are a few people who think there's a good amount of people who are Republican on campus. There's a good amount of people who are Libertarian on campus. But people who think like me, who kind of like Proud Boyish mentality, like anti-deep state, pro-Trump, glorified entrepreneur, venerated housewife, very little. You'll find very little. A lot of them have kind of fallen into partisan politics. Not that there's anything wrong with supporting the Republican Party or supporting the Democrat Party. But when you kind of like a party just because of the party, then you're not really making decisions for yourself, I believe. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But hey, let me get on to the next genre.
Okay. What's the next genre?
We got a couple here. Where are we here? Here we go. They have a whole Ellen genre. They have an entire genre devoted to Ellen. That's okay, I guess.
I mean, it's disturbing for me. I'm not the,
and then
I'm not the market for that.
The playlist got worse.
I imagine there is a market for that.
Yeah, there probably is. Well,
housewives use Spotify. It brings up music for that?
I think it's just sound bites of like what Ellen has said. I mean, like you check the playlist and it's like loved by Ellen, performed on Ellen show favorites. It's all cringeworthy. It's all Ellen, man.
Yeah.
I mean, I know what's going on here. I can kind of tell what's going on under the surface because here's the thing. They won't do this with people on The View, for example, or any other talk show host. They're doing this with Ellen. Why? It's because she's part of the LGBT community. Let's be honest. That's the reason why. They've given her... I mean, besides the work that she's done, they've given her own Spotify playlist. And that's okay. The problem is that they won't do it for conservative speakers or anybody else who doesn't fall in line with that groupthink. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's the worst. I hate it, Mm-hmm. I saw a meme today. It was like... everybody thought the government was Big Brother, and it turned out to be Facebook.
Yeah.
Because that's the means. That's the public square. That's the means of communication. And that's how you get all your stuff out. That's how you tell people about your podcast or whatever, right? Yep. And all of a sudden to be able to just shut people down like that, that's so crazy. I hate the fact that we have to live like this right now.
Oh, it's insane, man. And I think the part that really ticks at me is that we get shut down. We're doing nothing wrong here.
No.
However,
and all of the things that you said that could be misconstrued as completely all right, I brought it back in the middle a little bit. So I mean, you definitely can't go after this episode. But anyway.
But don't get me wrong, I'm not all right. I'm not all right for a second.
Oh, I'm a total asshole. I definitely believe in political correctness. That's horrible. Mm-hmm. It shuts down the ability just to be able to talk freely and open. Because you're scared about what word you might say and who you might offend. Mm-hmm. It's horrible to have to live like that, walking on eggshells.
Oh, it's insane, man. And I grew up like that. So really, this is nothing new to me. I think
you did what in school, in high school and stuff. That's what they're pushing.
Yeah. That's exactly.
Now you grew up at where? Up north, right? New Jersey. And there's a huge, that's you ventured in the city a lot. Are you in northern Jersey or southern?
I was in northern Jersey. I went to New York City every now and then. Oh my God, because you lived there. Yeah. I understand.
Yes,
bro. When did you leave? When did you leave New York?
A couple of years ago. 3 years ago.
2 years ago. Oh boy, man, it's gotten worse. I was just up there like a week or two ago.
Yeah,
it's gotten much worse.
Yeah, I was up there like 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago.
From what you left. But anyway, so here's my problem.
I lived there during Occupy Wall Street too. And you know what? I have like videos of me going. I remember I worked for Verizon Wireless. Okay, and I was a retail sales. I sold cell phones all throughout the city, like Union Square, Fifth Avenue, all over. But I actually worked on Wall Street, 100 Wall Street. Okay, that was the address. That was where the Verizon store is. And so I actually did work on Wall Street. I worked there for like a year and a half. But during Occupy Wall Street, all those people taking off, all those kids sitting there. I kind of understand though their side of it, because the market was manipulated. Remember when they had the buyout or whatever? Like Obama came in and then I wasn't about that. I didn't think that was good. Like bailing out all the banks. That goes against capitalism, bailing everybody out.
I think that's what Occupy Wall Street and
that was kind of fucked up. And I do honestly see like why they were mad, but never in my mind did I consider quitting my job and joining the cause ever.
That's the main difference between conservatives and liberals. I think that we honestly agree on the same issues most of the time. I think that our routes that we take to solve those issues are very different.
Yeah, well, you're going to blame somebody else instead of taking the initiative to try to change it on your own or something, right?
Yeah, that's the thing. But anyway, we're getting off track a little bit. Going back to Ellen, I think the major problem that I have with it is that it kind of uses the playlist. It kind of uses identity politics to it, and I think that the majority of Ellen's career, I don't mean to discredit her work at all, but it's honestly been based off this identity that she's made up. Well, not made up. That she is. You know, I'm here. I'm a Proud Boy. I have that identity. I'm also a Cuban American. I'm also white. So it's like I have plenty of identities, but I don't let them define me. What you see here, I don't speak for all the Proud Boys. I'll tell the truth about us.
Exactly.
But I'm speaking from Commander P's point of view. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's the same way I feel, like getting pigeonholed or doxxed or whatever, just because you're part of a group. You know, the group doesn't define everybody.
Yeah. Some groups get put up, some groups get put down. I think that's what's going on here.
What's the next Spotify? What else you got there?
Here's the next one. This one I didn't really understand. We got an Afro genre.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, all right. African music?
All right, is there a Cuban genre?
No, there's not.
There's not?
There's not.
Give me. Okay.
They have
Latin.
They have Latino. And then that's one whole genre. And then they have another one which we're about to get to, which is pretty interesting. Latino is just one whole genre. And then you have Cuban, Puerto Rican, Colombian, all of that mixed in there. Afro, I was like, because the thing about it is the rap genre and the R&B genres and all those genres, they kind of already have African music mixed into them. They have their own playlist where it's kind of like a little mix they have going in there.
What kind of playlist, what kind of songs come up on there?
I mean, what you'd expect, pretty much. I mean,
but is it just like what's the criteria? You're black, your skin's black, and then you're in there? Or is that like real music from Africa?
No, it's pretty much that. It's literally that.
See, I do see the problem with that.
Yes, and that's what I'm trying to get here with all these Spotify genres, is that they're appealing to this little conglomerate, and then everybody outside is just kind of shunned away. It's really, really identity based. But here's another one that I'd like to get to. I know you're kind of stripped for time here.
No, I'm good.
Oh, okay,
good,
perfect. This is a good one. Amplify 100% Latinx. Do you know what that is?
No.
Oh boy. Okay, Latinx. I think Latinx. I think I'm pronouncing that right. That is a new word that they have invented, where they think the word Latino and Latina is not gender neutral enough.
Oh my God.
Yes. So they have invented Latinx.
Wow. What about green? Oh, so should we should we have an X at the end? Should I get the Yo Soy Gringx?
Gringx.com?
Oh my God, I should. You bastards better not steal that. I should buy that. Wow, that's true.
You heard it here first, folks. Gringx. Oh man. So this is what they've done. So now they're trying to change the entire Spanish language because it's not inclusive enough. And now they have a Spotify playlist for this, and holy crap, bro.
It does change the entire Spanish language. I mean, it's all about feminine or masculine.
Yes. The entire language is based upon genders.
The entire language is based on genders.
Yeah.
Holy shit, that's so true. What the fuck?
Bobby Pickles just made this realization.
No, I did. I mean, what are you going to do? You're going to shut down an entire language? Wow.
I guess
and that goes right in how the Latin people think, you know? Right? Because language shapes your reality.
Yeah.
So that's all ingrained there. Mm-hmm. And then you're going to change it or stop it or try to get everybody to be politically correct?
It's crazy, bro. And it's kind of funny. They had Latinx Puerto Rico, Latinx Cuba, Latinx Colombia. And I was looking at the Cuba one and I was like, bro, if any Cuban parent saw their kid listen to that, it would be like, pow, pow.
I'm definitely buying the YoSoyGringX.com. Yeah.
Not that that's a good thing, but it is the reality.
That is smart.
It is the reality of what would happen, you know. And I was looking at some of the songs on here, and it's like you got Bad Bunny, and Drake on this,
Bad
and it's
Bunny.
like
Drake.
yeah, Drake.
What the
and
fuck's Drake doing on there?
I don't freaking know, man. Yeah, Bad Bunny, J Balvin, and Maluma, and all of these people objectify women all the time.
I know. Yeah,
They're
they do,
huge
definitely,
playboys.
definitely.
So it's like you're gonna put them on the Latinx playlist.
Well, it makes sense. We just talked about it. It's all gender. And,
I guess the music was too good. They were like, man, I love Drake too much.
fuck Spotify, man. God.
Yeah.
You like Spotify? You listen to it a lot?
I listen to Spotify all the time. I don't let this get in the way. Spotify, I can't. I can't.
Do you have like you the pay for service without the ads?
Oh no, I use like the paid service. I have the paid membership.
Nice.
Yeah, because I know I'm not gonna do that
So
little
this hits you
shuffle
home.
thing.
This is something that's like, what the fuck?
This is something that I don't have to deal with every day because I already have my playlist made. So I just go on Spotify. I swipe all past the bullshit, and I kind of just go to my music.
Is Spotify kind of like Wikipedia, where anybody can go on there though and create a playlist?
No. Well, I mean, technically yes. Anybody can create a playlist, but not these ones that I just showed you. These ones are official Spotify playlists.
Yeah.
That's the thing. And this was kind of funny. They had this is the last one. Where is this? Yeah. So they made an entire playlist after Trump's Muslim ban. It's called "I'm with the Band," and it's music for the musicians. I don't think so. I think a lot of it is probably Islam, but it's musicians from the countries of the Trump travel ban.
Got it.
So they made a whole entire playlist about this ban, but they don't mention any time in these playlists why are these countries banned?
Yeah.
It's like when Obama opened
that's
up.
an official.
That's an official playlist.
Spotify.
Official Spotify playlist. It's when Obama opened up trade with Cuba or tourism with Cuba. And then all these liberal newspapers were covering it going, we can finally go to Cuba, the Forbidden Island. And nobody stopped to think, well, why is it the Forbidden Island? Why are these forbidden places? Why are they on the Trump travel ban? It's because they have a high rate of Muslim terrorism. That's what's going on here. So, Spotify is just virtue signaling.
Is
at
that
the end
why?
of the day.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Because I did wonder why. I wondered that Obama, had opened it up right before he left the office, and then Trump immediately.
Cuba?
Yeah, Cuba. Sorry, Cuba.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the Muslim ban.
Sorry, no, but no. Speaking of Cuba, right, and that whole thing, like the wet foot, dry foot, he ended it or whatever, and then Trump reinstituted it immediately.
Trump kind of reinstituted it, not fully. I think that's the one critique of Trump I'll ever have. What he did, what Obama got rid of two laws. He got rid of road foot, dry foot, and then he got rid of the asylum law. Because what Cuba does, I'm sure you already know, they send doctors to these countries, almost all third world countries in Africa and Venezuela, and these doctors are sent there completely against their will. The state really doesn't care about what the doctors think. They just take them and they ship them off, and they're usually in very poor conditions. Living conditions in these third world countries, and they're called slave doctors because that's what they are. And then they're forced also to fabricate statistics. So all these UN statistics that are coming out about Cuban doctors, one, they're coming from slaves, and two, they have to fabricate the statistics for the government. And Obama got rid of the law that said that a Cuban doctor can find asylum in the United States. Trump reinstated it as soon as he went into office. Nobody talks about that.
Oh, that's good.
That's
a good one.
So then I think this is the last one we're going to talk about. So in the I'm with the Band playlist, I thought this was pretty funny. They have a playlist called Muslim Vibes. And then you notice the little picture, it has these girls. And none of them seem to be wearing a proper hijab here. They're wearing sunglasses and they look super cute and they're little rock stars and looking awesome. And I'm looking at this and I'm like, if any of these women were to dress like that in the Middle East, they'd get stoned. Like, what?
I know, but they got to make it, appealing to the American idiots.
Yeah, exactly. It's the useful idiots.
Yeah.
And this is a major problem that I have with leftist America is they try to make Islam and those who are really devout Islamists seem like something fun and happy when you read the Quran, there's a lot of there's Sharia law. A woman's vote or word counts half as much of a man's. They can stone you if you get raped. It's crazy stuff. And here they're trying to fashionize it.
Mm-hmm. Do you have any Muslim friends?
Yeah, I have a couple.
Yeah, are they like that though? Are they like kind of normal and cool though?
They're normal and cool for the most part.
Yeah.
I had one that was like, I'm gonna dox you. I'm gonna find out where you live. They're normal and cool.
I have some really cool, good, Muslim friends who like aren't like that at all.
I know it's a moderate Muslim, but the truth is that they're a minority. The moderate Muslims, they're cool people, but they're a minority. And I think Ben Shapiro did an awesome job of covering this in his Myth of the Moderate Muslim Minority video. I think that was the name of it, something like that. I think I mentioned that in the first episode too. Those people, they're awesome, and you kind of have to thank them because it's like, oh, thank you for not killing me. But they're not that many. They're really not. And if anything, if they were in the Middle East, they would get persecuted by the Muslim terrorists, by the ones who really strictly follow the religion.
Yeah.
But that was a very dark note. We got to lighten it up a little bit. We're getting a little soapboxy here.
Yeah. So, is that it?
Yeah, that's it. Those were the playlists.
I mean, I didn't. I understand where you're coming from on some of those. I just, I guess I don't use Spotify as much to really hate that, But I definitely find more like the Facebook stuff and all the overtly Twitter, silencing people. That's the most offensive thing to me. Where you don't have a platform. That's insane.
Well, here's the thing.
If is fascism. That's real fascism.
Yes, that's true.
Even though you say like insane fucked up things about the Muslims like just now, you should still have the right. You should have the right to voice your opinion and talk through your thoughts just like you did.
Yeah.
Right? Everybody should. You should be able to do that. And nothing shouldn't immediately be considered hate speech. And I don't even know who is even making these conclusions or whatever judgments. Some people sitting in a room somewhere, and that's the thing. That's the thing to talk about. Like, why are all these people that work in Silicon Valley like that? Why do they swing left like that? It's because they're in this. Like that is. Think about it. It is socialistic. Corporations can be very socialistic, right? You're gonna have a lifetime career at a company. They're going to take care of you. Like
that's true. But here's the thing, though. If you really don't like Twitter and Facebook censoring conservatives, then you shouldn't like this just as much because in a way it is kind of shadow banning. Except it's
the fact that there isn't the conservative voices on there.
Exactly.
And you did searched for other genres on there that could be considered.
Oh, you don't even have to search for it. It's all laid out for you.
But I mean, like conservative.
Yes.
There was nothing. There was no representation.
The only one was one CRTV podcast that was included in the genres, and you had to dig deep for it too. And that was about it. That's all I found. One CRTV podcast. But that's the problem here.
Because they have a lot of podcasts on Spotify. Well, I thought they did at one point.
I think they had Get Off My Lawn on Spotify. I think they do. I think they have they have a lot of podcasts on Spotify, I believe. But are they put in the genres though? Because that's really the hub. That's what everybody sees on Spotify. No, they're not. So that's my problem, is that they're taking these causes and groups and they're raising them up, putting them in everybody's face so everybody can see them. And in the case of Spotify, they're slowly hiding all the conservative voices. Like, oh, you have to dig deep for them. You have to manually search for them. They won't be right here. It's kind of the same thing that YouTube does. You know what I mean? Except YouTube just goes flat out in bans.
What do you think is going to happen? It can't. This can't continue.
No, it can't. No, it can't.
Something's going to happen, right? We are in the midst of a culture war.
Yes.
And at some point, shit's going to get crazy. Like, if they try to impeach Trump, I think that they're going to have a major problem. Honestly.
Yeah. I don't think they're going to come close.
I think that, if they really did that, there would be some people that were really pissed off.
Yeah, there would be.
Like, honestly, genuinely pissed off. Mm-hmm. And it might push them over the edge.
Yeah.
You know? For real. Mm-hmm. And they just keep on doing it. Keep on poking the giant, right?
Yeah, yeah. That's what they're doing. And the thing about it is their fan base.
You know about like you seen the video with the KGB guy talking about demoralization and stuff like that.
Yeah, the useful idiots. Yeah.
But how they completely they miseducate an entire generation to think that Marxism is good and all this other stuff, and then they get in the workforce. That's what they've done. I'm a college graduate. I went to University of Florida. I have a liberal arts degree. Okay,
damn.
I took like basket weaving 101. I took prison literature, African American prison literature was one of the classes I took. Yeah,
I didn't know that,
I lived in New York City. Come on, man. I was so liberal. I thought that like that. It was a trap and it's stupidity. Yeah, right. But
it's funny though. You were liberal when you took like African American studies or around that. I was little known fact. actually, nobody knows this. I was actually the president of my high school's Black Student Union for a while, and I was the president of that union when I was conservative, when I had already started liking Trump. So when I would like lead that, and when I would talk to people there, I was looking through everything through a very conservative lens. So when you saw me talking about Black history is now, honestly, that experience comes from talking to Black people.
Yeah. What was it like when you had your epiphany?
Oh boy.
What happened?
On what? On conservatism?
Yeah.
Okay. It was kind of a long time coming. I gotta say, I really have to hand it. This is part of the reason why I'm a Proud Boy. It was Gavin who drove me to conservatism, because I remember I was about 15 or 16 years old, and I was living in this liberal indoctrination camp called education. Yeah. And I was really lost. I was like, I'm mad. I have this natural anger to me and stress, and I need to get it out somehow. But everybody's telling me that I need to be ashamed of it, of this masculinity that I have. So I need to find a way to get it out. And then I watched one video of Gavin when he was on the Rebel, and it was 1 a.m. I was in my boxers. I was 15. I schooled the next day, and I watched the Confederate flag video that he posted, and I was watching, and I was like,
what was he saying about the Confederate flag?
Bro, he was pretty much like the Civil War wasn't about slavery.
Yeah, the Confederate flag, all those other things.
It's heritage, not hate, blah, blah, blah. Don't take it down. That's American Holocaust. You can watch the video, it lays it all out. I pretty much just summed it up. But I was watching, I was like, bro, if the guys at my school could hear what you're saying, you'd be dead. And then I was kind of laughing at it. And then I was like listening in, and I was like, wait a minute, I think the same thing too. I just didn't want to tell anybody. And then I watched more videos and more and more and more and more and more. And I was like, wait a minute. This is right. This is the truth. Everybody else has it wrong. And then I did more research and more research. And you need to know that around this time, I wasn't really fully Republican. I wasn't really fully libertarian either, because I consider myself a libertarian now. I was kind of in the middle, where I hated socialism because I had researched extensively what happened to Cuba because of my grandparents. We read so many books about what happened in Cuba, so many sources. I know the history of Cuba front and back. You can ask me anything, So I already hated that. And then I was like, wait a minute, but what's going on right now is kind of mimicking what happened in Cuba. It really is a culture war, because in Cuba there was a culture war before Fidel Castro took over, And I was like, Gavin, you're 100% right. And I just kept watching his videos, and I got into Crowder, Milo, all of those guys. And then eventually I made it to the Republican Party, but it was a long time coming, man. It was a long time of just being lost. Yeah. But how'd you do it? How did Bobby Pickles,
dude, my dad
sit
died
here before us behind a Trump flag?
my father died. Everything that I learned is the hard way. Everything. And yeah, you're thinking dumb, and I can only imagine how he must have hated me, man. Really, I was an asshole. I was an idiot. I was so dumb. But he got brain cancer. He actually died from the same kind of cancer that what's his name? He just died recently. McCain.
Oh.
Glioblastoma multiforme. He had that same exact brain cancer, and instead of, letting anybody take care of him or whatever, just putting it off, or I immediately like quit my job, moved in with my parents, took care of him until we were his main caregivers until he died. It took a year. But and I'm in my 30s, and then I'm living with my parents and my brother. It was kind of cool. There's good that happens in death.
Yeah.
There's always fun. There's always good that comes out of everything, like even in dying.
Yeah.
So, but that opened my mind, because I was like, wow, we're only human. We're all going to die someday. Nobody's above anybody else. Nobody's below anybody else. Right. And if you really want something, you have to go get it. That's it. And nothing's going to be given to you. So yeah, I'm going to end up just like him. And that's really how it started,
Wow, man.
And then when Trump, honestly, man, I was doing a podcast called Dying Scene Radio, and it was all punk rock, and it was all liberals, and I interviewed all these bands and stuff like that all the time. And just like what we were talking about earlier before we started this, we were talking about what's the guy's name who just Alice Cooper?
Yeah.
Alice Cooper just said it's an
abuse of power.
It's an abuse of power. We were at Fest, the largest punk rock event or whatever.
What fest?
It's just called Fest.
Oh.
It's called Fest. It happens in Gainesville every year, and it's a big punk rock festival, and they have all these different bands from all over the country or whatever come and play, and all of these bands were saying vote for Hillary. And I knew immediately, man, instinctively. I was driving back talking Piazza like, what the fuck are we doing? Yeah. Like, this is insane. Are you serious? They're fucking, doing this. They're pushing that on everybody. I don't ever like going with the crowd. I'm a natural contrarian. So whenever you find yourself in the masses, it's always time to stop and reflect, right?
Yeah.
So I was like, wait, what's going on? And then I was like, Trump is genuine. Holy shit. He's like really doing this because he has it in his heart to do it.
Yeah, he's doing it for free.
And I'm getting behind him. Fuck this shit. I'm getting behind him.
Good shit.
And that was it. So, but a lot of people are totally brainwashed. Society was invented to keep you to keep your mind off of the fact that you're going to die someday. That's why you have movies, you have music, you have all this entertainment. It's constant. They have holidays to get your mind off the fact that you're going to die. Okay. And so if you stay in that little mindset and you just go through, I'm going to get married and have kids. One day you're going to get cancer. And, then you're going to be like, what the fuck? It's all a bad joke, And people don't realize it, and that's why they're liberal. They're dumb motherfuckers. They are the dumbest motherfuckers.
Yeah, bro.
You are a super dumb person if you think like that. Like, that's why they say if you're, find me a man who's 25 and who is a bleeding heart liberal, right? Mm-hmm. And I'll show you a man with no heart. Yeah, show me somebody at the age of 35 who's a conservative, and I'll show you a man with no brain. That's why they say that. Because if you're a smart person, you might go through that little stage, but you'll change it if you have any intelligence whatsoever.
I think everybody went to that stage, to be honest. I think just about everybody I know.
Yeah.
I don't think there's one conservative.
Oh yeah, everybody goes through that stage usually. You'll dabble in the liberal shit until you realize it's a dead end.
And that's the thing. It's a stage.
It is a stage. Yeah. And it always amazes me when I find somebody who's like 60, 50 or something like that, who still thinks in this juvenile fucking way.
Bro.
It's so crazy. And it's a lot. I'm friends with all kinds, because I've done podcasting for a long time. This is like 2012. So I've interviewed a lot of people, like lawyers, doctors, fucking like all kinds of like college professors, and I'm friends with them on Facebook, and I call them dumb motherfuckers right to their face, right on there. I've met them in person and stuff like that, but I insult them. I insult like professors to their face. I have a college professor for who I took, and he taught argumentation in class. Debate. The art of debate.
No, those are the worst ones.
Yeah. This guy is like, what? Oh, he said something so like ignorant or whatever, and I called him on it, just like telling him, just using logic, and then he unfriended me.
I debated one of those professors once, like debate professors. This guy, I was debating him. I was at a Turning Point tabling, and I was debating people there, and I was just sitting down, and he was sitting down next to me the whole time while he was debating me. This is the professor of debate. All right, he was playing a ukulele. He was just playing chords on a ukulele while we were arguing, and I was just like, "Can you put down the ukulele?"
Well, it was just that's an interesting tactic that he used.
Strumming away.
That's an interesting tactic to use. You're not even affecting me. I'm just playing whatever. Fuck you. I mean, it's kind of I understand it. But did he say anything of substance?
No. He literally accused me of making straw man, of using anecdotal evidence, of
he's
pretty much using ideological fallacies. Yeah. And I was just like, well, what have you given me?
Can you put that in the fucking dictionary right now in the textbook? Using all the throw all the fallacies at me. Why don't you just come up with a point? How about that?
Yeah.
But it's funny, man. I mean, it's so crazy. Some of these people that are supposedly teaching young minds are some of the dumbest people. Genuinely the dumbest people. And it's because maybe they haven't had a lot of bad life experience, honestly.
I think
they haven't had anything to knock them out of that. They might have and it's great, they're blessed. They have their mom and dad and who's in perfect health, right? Who might live to 90 years old. That person is going to stay liberal. Like you have to really get kicked in the balls, man, to wake up out of that trance.
Oh my gosh. But anyway, okay. Last question for the day.
Yeah.
Do you think Trump will win in 2020?
I mean, yes, I think that if he runs, he will win 100%. Yes, especially because they don't have anybody, and they're talking about running Hillary again. It'll be interesting to find out what happens if they really if they get that base who just wants Hillary to win this time. But I mean, there's a lot of like Roger Stone. I think he said that there's a chance that he won't run again or something like that.
Really?
I'm not sure. I've heard that being said. Like he might choose not to run for a second term, which would be horrible. I would hate that.
Yeah.
Because I do think that man, there's a need for both spectrums. I think a little bit. That's why America is beautiful.
We need a healthy Democrat Party and a healthy Republican Party.
We stay in the middle that way.
Yeah.
And every 4 to 8 years, we shift left or right, and that's what keeps us in the middle.
Yeah.
But traditionally what we've done is whoever becomes the president, you get behind that guy.
Yeah.
That's why I am a Proud Boy, because I'm pissed. Because that guy, he's given his due time. He's a duly elected president, and he resist. Now you're going to resist everything, right? I mean, I'm insulted. You're not giving us our time. Like we need to have that correction. We need to be able to pull right in order to stay in the middle. And you just want to bring it all the way left. And that's why I'm a Proud Boy, man, because that's fucking bullshit. And after Obama for 8 years, I think we do need Trump, man, for that whole 8 years to level us all out and correct everything, correct the political spectrum in America.
Solid way to end it too. Thank you for coming on, Bobby. It's been an absolute pleasure.
Man. Appreciate it. Looking forward to getting doxxed. You liberal pieces of shit.
All right, proud of your boy, everybody.
Proud of your boy.